Cuba is the country where you can buy anything, literally anything. The basic necessities and the most unlikely items have a market on this Caribbean island, as long as you know where to look and have the means to pay. Curious? Join us, and let's dive in. Number 15. The routine of endless lines. In the heart of Havana, the Plaza Carlos III shopping center has become the epicenter of a daily battle for survival. Starting at 3 in the morning, hundreds of Cubans begin to form lines that snake through several blocks. The goal is not to secure the latest release from a famous brand or take advantage of a special sale. It's the search for basic items like soap, toothpaste, and toilet paper. A complex system of tickets and attendance lists created by the locals helped keep order. Elderly people, pregnant women, and mothers with small children get priority, but they still have to wait for hours. Neighbors take turns holding each other's place in line while some rest on the sidewalks. Street vendors roam around offering coffee and snacks to those waiting. The wait can last between 6 and 8 hours, and even then, there's no guarantee the desired product will be available when the doors finally open. Number 14. The risks of street food. Cuban cuisine, traditionally rich in flavor, faces serious food safety problems on the streets. Street vendors and small popular eateries reuse the same cooking oil dozens of times due to shortages and high prices. This practice not only compromises the taste of the food, but poses a real health risk to consumers. These makeshift establishments rarely have proper refrigeration, and food is exposed to the tropical heat for hours. Health inspections are virtually non-existent at informal selling points. Meat, when available, is of questionable origin and is often stored under poor conditions. Even so, the population has little choice but to turn to these more affordable options. More established restaurants face constant challenges with irregular ingredient supplies, forcing them to change their menus daily, depending on product availability. I have a question for you. First, I'd like to tell you that it's possible to keep up with the biggest curiosities of our world every day. But for that, you need to be subscribed to our channel. So, have you subscribed yet? If not, take the opportunity to subscribe now. Now that you've done that, let's go. Number 13. Female vanity. In the world of Cuban women, maintaining beauty has become an economic and logistical challenge. A mid-quality hair dye, a basic product in other countries, can cost up to 2,000 Cuban pesos, about a third of the average monthly salary. Improvised beauty salons operate in the back of homes, where hairdressers use products smuggled in from Mexico and the United States. Cuban women have developed creative techniques to extend the life of cosmetics. Lipsticks are scraped out and reused entirely, nail polish bottles are thinned out to last a few more weeks, and makeup products are shared among friends and family. Moisturizers and sunscreens, essential in the Caribbean climate, are sold in small portions in repurposed containers. WhatsApp groups, accessed through limited internet connections, serve as marketplaces for beauty products. Number 11. The silent hunger in Cuban schools. Cuba's education system, once a source of national pride, is facing an unprecedented crisis in school meals. The cafeteria menu has been drastically reduced. Where once there were complete meals with protein, today children are given only bread with a corn tortilla or plain rice. A dozen eggs, which should cost just a few pesos, reaches astronomical prices on the informal market, between 3,000 and 3,500 pesos. Teachers report cases of students fainting during classes due to a lack of proper food. Many families choose to send their children to school with only a light snack, saving the main meal of the day for dinner at home. The government tries to maintain a powdered milk distribution program for children up to 7 years old, but the product often disappears from the shelves, forcing parents to turn to the black market, where prices can triple. Number 10. The survival seamstresses. Cuba's informal textile industry is supported by a network of women who have turned necessity into opportunity. Professional seamstresses have set up clandestine workshops in their homes, where they produce everything from school uniforms to party dresses. Using old sewing machines, many from the Soviet era, these artisans create new garments from used clothing. New fabric is a luxury item in Cuba, costing about 1,000 pesos per meter. The seamstresses have developed techniques to take apart old clothes and reuse every inch of material. Some specialize in making bags from discarded tarps or detergent pouches. Others produce reusable face masks and feminine hygiene products, essential alternatives to the nearly non-existent disposable products in official stores. A select group masters the art of copying international designer models, creating replicas for Cuban women who can't afford the originals. Number 9. The black market. The scarcity in official stores has fueled the growth of a complex informal trade network that stretches across Cuba. Known as private sellers, these individuals turn their homes into makeshift businesses. On colonial balconies, tables display a variety of products, from basic foods to imported electronics. The system operates through an intricate network of contacts, the sociolitos, who know exactly where to find each needed item. Residents with relatives abroad regularly receive products and resell part of them to supplement their income. Specialized mechanics keep old cars running using handmade parts. Clandestine pharmacies sell medicines brought in by mules, people who frequently travel to other countries. This parallel market has become so essential that even public employees depend on it to obtain basic items. Number 8. The daily battle for bread. Before the sun even rises, lines start to form outside Cuban bakeries. In many regions of the island, getting fresh bread has become a mission that begins at 3 or 4 in the morning. The shortage of flour directly affects production, resulting in smaller and lower quality loaves. Bakers improvise with the ingredients available, often reducing the weight of the final product to serve more people. The distribution system prioritizes hospitals and schools, leaving the general population with limited options. In state-run bakeries, a simple loaf of bread can cost 500 pesos, a significant amount for families earning about 3,000 pesos per month. The situation has become so critical that a parallel bread resale market has emerged, where intermediaries buy large quantities in the early hours and resell them at even higher prices throughout the day. Some families have developed strategies of taking turns, with different members alternating in bakery lines in different neighborhoods to increase their chances of getting this basic food item. Number 7. The water crisis. Cuba's water treatment system presents significant challenges that directly affect the population's health. The aging and poorly maintained infrastructure results in an irregular and questionable water supply. On some days, water comes out of the taps with alarming levels of chlorine, making it nearly undrinkable. On others, contamination is evident by its color and smell. Residents must boil all water for consumption, a process that requires gas or electricity, both of which are also scarce. More cautious families store water in tanks and barrels, creating reserves for frequent periods of shortage. The situation is particularly dire in peripheral neighborhoods where water supply can be cut off for days. Gastrointestinal illnesses are common, especially among children and the elderly. Bottled mineral water, a safer alternative, is prohibitively expensive for most of the population, costing about 200 pesos per bottle. Number 6. The market of the inaccuracies. Economic hardships have drastically transformed romantic relationships in Cuba, especially for women. In Havana, a phenomenon known as jinetarismo has emerged. Young women who seek relationships with foreign tourists as a survival strategy. In broad daylight, young Cuban women walk around the luxurious hotels of Havana, dressed in tight clothes and high heels. In the bars of the old city, groups of university students chat with visitors in search of better prospects. The average monthly salary of a teacher, 3,000 pesos, is equivalent to just one night in a tourist hotel. Clandestine matchmaking agencies operate in private homes, charging commissions to introduce Cuban women to foreigners. WhatsApp and social media have become essential tools in this market, with profiles dedicated to international connections. Older women, known as matchmakers, mediate meetings and charge in dollars or euros. The phenomenon has created a parallel economy of beauty salons, specializing in preparing women for dates with foreigners, offering complete packages that include makeup, hair, and borrowed clothes. Number 5. The contrast between two Cubas. The streets of Havana tell two completely different stories. On the surface, vibrant colonial buildings house elegant bars frequented by tourists, who pay in dollars for authentic Cuban cocktails. Classic cars from the 1950s transport visitors charmed by the main avenues, while tour guides present a romanticized version of the revolution. In the resorts of Varadero, tourists enjoy abundant buffets and paradisiacal beaches. However, just a few blocks away, in residential neighborhoods, Cubans wait in line for hours to buy rice and beans from stores with empty shelves. The same colorful buildings that enchant visitors have worrying cracks and serious structural issues. Entire families share apartments designed for a single person, improvising partitions with sheets and curtains. Public transportation is unreliable, with overcrowded buses that frequently break down, forcing workers to find creative alternatives to get to work. Number 4. The transportation that risks lives. Cuba's transportation system has turned into a daily dangerous adventure. Old trucks, originally meant for transporting cargo, have been adapted to carry passengers between provinces. These trips, which cost about $2, constantly expose passengers to risks. The vehicles, mostly from the 1950s and 60s, often have mechanical problems, worn-out brakes, and bald tires. Cuba's poorly maintained, pothole-ridden roads increase the danger. During peak hours, people travel standing, clinging to the sides of the trucks with no protection. The private taxi system, a safer alternative, operates in a legal gray area, with drivers using private cars without official licenses. The few public buses available are overcrowded, with people hanging from doors and windows. Accidents are common but rarely reported in the official media. Number 3. The midwives of the informal economy. Amid the shortage of baby products, a specific group of Cuban women has developed an impressive informal trade network focused on pregnant women and newborns. Known as baby godmothers, these women have transformed their homes into clandestine warehouses for baby products. Disposable diapers, which cost about 1,000 pesos per pack in official stores, are sold individually for 50 pesos. Used baby clothes arrive in suitcases through mules, travelers who regularly go between Miami and Havana. A complex barter system allows mothers to pass on items their children no longer use. These informal traders also offer rental services for breast pumps, cribs, and strollers. Some specialize in producing homemade powdered milk, mixing different available ingredients to create alternatives to the imported product, which can cost up to 5,000 pesos per can. Number 2. Doctors in the underworld of medicines. The health crisis in Cuba has created an underground network of doctors operating clandestine pharmacies in their own homes. Professionals who work in public hospitals divert essential medicines to treat private patients after hours. In apartments converted into makeshift clinics, these women keep stocks of antibiotics, anti-inflammatories, and other basic medications that are impossible to find in state pharmacies. A single amoxicillin pill can cost 500 pesos on the black market, while treatments for chronic illnesses like diabetes can reach up to 3,000 pesos. The network includes nurses who perform basic procedures such as administering injections and dressing wounds, charging either in pesos or through bartering for food and other essential goods. Number 1. The hairdressers. The beauty industry in Cuba has taken on a mobile dimension with the peluqueras ambulantes, traveling hairdressers who roam the island offering door-to-door services. Carrying backpacks filled with smuggled products, these professionals travel between provinces, attending to clients in their homes. A complete hair coloring, which would typically cost 20,500 pesos in a salon, costs just 1,000 pesos in this delivery system. The hairdressers have developed techniques to stretch expensive products. Shampoos are diluted, and hair dyes are mixed with conditioner to last for more applications. Some have specialized in natural techniques, using local ingredients like coffee to cover gray hair and avocado for hydration. Their service includes a network of information about products available in different regions, with the professionals acting as intermediaries in a complex system of beauty product trades and resales across different cities on the island. Now that you're subscribed to our channel and have already liked this video, I have a special recommendation for you. See that video appearing on the screen right now? Click on it and go check it out right away. Well, that's it. And until next time, Curious One.